Go.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the podcast. It's Steve Renazizi. It's the podcast. What the fuck? What's the odds with Steve Renazizi?
Steve, come on. We're trying to get that Spotify money. Get it together, man.
By the way, $100 million. Brenton.
Wait, that's what he got?
He got $100 million.
In case you don't know what you're listening to, this is Hear Me This Book. What's the odds with Steve Renazizi? That's what I was about to say. My old podcast when I started. I don't know. I've listened to so many podcasts in the last 3 days. It's remarkable, but I'll get to why in a minute. Joe Rogan is what we were just talking about. Apparently, Joe Rogan signed a deal with Spotify for $100 million for the backlog of his episodes, and then going forward, I believe Spotify will be the official place where you can find the Joe Rogan Experience. Is that what it was, Brenton?
Yeah. It's like Dr. Evil's running Spotify and signed him.
So
$100 million, Joe.
That's what I thought of too.
Yeah. I mean, when he announced it, I didn't know what the number was. I just saw his post, and then later on, a couple people sent me a couple articles, and I saw $100 million. And congratulations to Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I mean, the guy started his own podcast in a shitbox and grew it into a 9-figure fucking empire.
I have a plan for us, Steve. I have a plan
I want to
for
hear
the
it.
podcast.
That's what I was getting to.
Yes. So we have like 30 listeners. So we ask you guys to please.
We have more than 30.
Maybe go buy a gun, hold 1 million people at gunpoint, and force them to listen to our entire back catalog. And that should bump up our numbers.
There you go.
Look,
if every
normally,
person
if one person does that, we're going to get
1 million
sued.
people to listen to these podcasts, then we're going to be in the money.
And normally I'm not on board with a lot of the nonsense you come up with, but this time I think you found some gold. We're looking to get some people held hostage. You sit them down, you listen. Look, they're not going to like them all. They're not probably going to like most of them, but they'll find one or two that they can get into, and all of a sudden, bingo.
Yes.
They start listening more and more, and they find we now grow on them like coronavirus, like those things that latch on to your fucking cells, your blood cells. And again, I'm not looking for 9 figures. Okay, we just want to build this thing organically, and honestly, just not as slowly as we've started. So that's all I'm asking. Okay, let's pick up the pace a little bit. A little bit. Give me a tick. Give me something to believe in. All right, that's all I'm looking for. It's been a dark couple months, ladies and gentlemen. Give me something to believe in. I know you're out there. I know you're listening. I know there are people that for some reason just like the way that we come up with dumb ideas. There's a guy in Sweden, Casper, right? That guy loves us. He wakes up in another country, speaks a different language than us, and somehow or another relates to the fucking horse shit we come up with week after week. Yep. So again, it's out there. It can be done. We're not all going to be the Joe Rogan Experience, but we can get better. And if anything, Joe Rogan has taught us we can get better. This guy's taught us we can get better. All right? Because anyone that tells someone that they just beat, hey, fuck you, you bitch. Whoa, that's a leadership style right there.
Lose him, or is that me? Oh,
no, he's here.
I'm right here, man. Oh, Brenton's frozen.
Oh, now Brenton's frozen. Guys, Zoom is just crushing it today.
Zoom's getting overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Did you hear anything I said? I just gave you a really nice speech, Brenton, but I guess, I don't know, it probably went over your head. Now he's stuck on his smile. Look at it.
Yeah, that is creepy. Very
It is creepy.
There's like a part of me that wonders if he's frozen or if he's just being a psycho.
It could be a thing where, breathe. Is he breathing?
No.
Talk,
no, I think maybe he's actually frozen. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh,
change
no.
locations.
He's changing locations.
Changing locations. Can you give us a quick update on the dog? How's she feeling?
Let me try this. Not great, but he's been allowed.
Oh, forget it.
Don't
Hopefully
ask
better
Brenton
than your
questions
connection.
for a few minutes.
Brenton, you're out of this conversation. Yeah, I shit the bed at the beginning of this podcast. I honestly forgot the name of it because I listened to 2 of my old podcasts on a car ride that I just made across the country. Last Friday, I woke up in New York, and my brother-in-law and I flew to Los Angeles, where we got home to my place and packed up a car, and then slept till about midnight, and then took off for an adventure across the country. We drove through Las Vegas, obviously, was our first stop. We got through there around 3:30 in the morning. Very strange to see Las Vegas completely dead at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Friday night.
That's
You drove the
wild.
strip?
Saturday morning.
You did the strip. You did.
I mean, we just pulled off for gas, but yeah, there was nothing there. You could see no, like the hearts on the hotel rooms and this and that, but just no one out, no one around, like a ghost town.
I like have goosebumps just thinking about that.
It really was a very strange. It looked like it was, like driving through many of these towns at night. Even bigger cities like maybe 200,000 person cities. At night, they would look like what Vegas looked like, kind of just shut down, like not a lot of lights on. Very, usually Vegas, no matter when you go through it, it's lit up like a Christmas tree. It was pretty nuts to see, kind of insane. And then we went through through a little bit of Arizona, and then the Moab desert. I think it's Moab in Utah, and that's where the sun came up. That day, that was beautiful. 6 a.m., the sun came up. And
Utah is a beautiful place to drive through. I ran a half marathon in Utah, and it was fantastic.
I mean, you didn't have to say you didn't have to drop that part in.
Yeah.
We get it.
I watched the sunrise in Utah while I was running. That's what it made me think of.
Well, I was doing 85 miles an hour through it, but it still
You
was
were
pretty
moving
beautiful.
much faster than I was.
Yeah. It was unbelievable. It was, but we didn't pull over. We were on a mission because we had to make it to Breckenridge by the night. And that's where my buddy Tom was. He's a ski instructor in Breck, so I figured I'd stay with him. He Airbnb's his place, but it hasn't been out in like 2 months. So he's like, it's empty, it's sitting there, it's non-COVID, you can go in, the dog can sleep over and everything. Because we had my dog with us. So, and you were asking Lucas, was the dog skittish? Kind of in the beginning, because I think he thought he was being kidnapped. I don't know what he thought was happening.
You didn't give him like a little doggy Benadryl or anything?
I mean, I thought about that later because for some reason I just didn't. Normally when he goes on the plane, I give it to him like a little, like Dramamine or whatever, puts him to sleep. But this was like, I was like, oh, he'll just be with us, he'll be fine. But going through Colorado and shit, as you hit into like, it starts to get windy, it becomes a little more, I'm like, oh, he's probably gonna feel throwing up. But every time we got out of the car, we took him out, walked him around, and then got him back into the car. Every 4 hours.
Was the window open?
No, we were doing on the highway. We had the air going in the car, but on the highway we didn't crack the window. We were moving pretty quick.
He's not one of those dogs.
No, no. I mean, when we came into town, things like that, yes, open the window up. He's not going to jump out. He wants to stick his head out of it. But when we're moving, we're moving. Everyone's just settling in. We stopped at our first truck stop or our first rest stop, and we looked like, because we didn't know what the rules were in the different states. So we were hazmated to the hilt. We had masks on, gloves on, right? I was like switching sweatshirts. I had like an inside sweatshirt and an outside sweatshirt, like the one I wear inside. And you would go in, and like the different states were remarkable. Like Utah, Colorado, even into Nebraska, they didn't give a fuck. There was no one in with a mask. They were wearing flip flops, tank tops. I saw 2 people making out in the corner. I mean, it was like it did not seem that they were as worried about shit as obviously we were meant to believe that we were supposed to be. Because I'm like, I just want to try to avoid this thing as much as possible. So we just limited our stops to got out, took a piss, walked the dog, filled up with gas, got a snack, got back in the car again. No lollygagging or any of that bullshit. So, but yeah, as you went across the country, the states got more and more ridiculous as to like what was like the level of their panic. But yeah, anyway, Utah's beautiful. Now we're into Colorado, long ass state. We get to Breckenridge. We sleep there that night. It was awesome. I remember falling asleep, and we had driven for 13 hours. It's like almost 1,000 miles. And I remember falling asleep, like feeling like I was still driving in a sense, like almost like falling like forward, like everything was moving forward. But the cool thing was my brother-in-law brought a CB. So we hooked it to the roof of the car, and we could just talk to truckers the entire time as we went along.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
So you would, and that's how you found out about bears. I learned a lot of terms. Any bears up there, which meant cops on the side of the road. Because I have California plates. So California, I did it like 90 miles an hour out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Nevada, you go 15, 20 miles an hour over the speed limit. Because the way the math goes in my head is I'm speeding past cops, right? So if I'm going along with everybody else, they got a decision to make. Are they going to give the guy with the plates that lives in that state the ticket, or the plates from another state the ticket? I'm going to get the fucking ticket.
Yeah.
So as progressively I got further away from California, I started to slow down my above the speed limit pace. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Colorado, long ass state. Slept there for the night.
Shut that wolf up.
Kill that wolf. Breckenridge still has snow, by the way. Still,
Really?
you go up there, you could hike up to the top. My buddy brings his dog up there and fucking just ski down every day if you wanted to. May 20th, still get down the mountain. It's insane. They got so much snow.
Well, didn't they just have a blizzard on the East Coast? Didn't that just happen, like in the last few weeks?
Yeah, they had snow in like Connecticut.
Yeah, Pittsburgh had snow. Upstate New York had snow. Yeah, like a couple weeks ago. It's been cold here, but yeah, I guess Breck and all the mountains just got tons of snow. And then we left. Our plan was we left every morning at midnight. So we drive midnight. I would probably get to about 5 a.m. before the gas switch. And then we would drive till about 2 or 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, get to the place, post up, eat a meal, and go to sleep. That was kind of the deal. So yeah, the next morning we woke up at midnight, drove to Chicago, and then stayed with my friend Katie in Chicago, and then woke up at midnight, and we got home Monday at 3:30 in the afternoon. Crazy trip. Absolutely, like the max I could ever drive.
What was your final hour count? How many hours did it take you?
So Breckenridge to Chicago was 15 hours. That was the longest day. We did that in the middle. But that's 15 hours of driving.
Right.
And then it was you gained an hour. So every day we gained 1 hour. So LA to New York, LA to Breckenridge, we drove for 12 hours, but it was really, we had gained an hour, so it was 13 hours. And then obviously the next day. And then Chicago to here to New York is like 12 hours. And that felt like a walk in the park almost. Like when I got to, because we woke up at midnight in Chicago, I got a great picture. I got to put it up of downtown Chicago at 6 o'clock at night. Not a soul, dude. Not a soul to be found. I was walking Mickey, the dog, and I was like, it feels like I am legend. I am the only guy out downtown with a fucking dog walking around. And it was nuts. It was like that sort of vibe. Chicago's very tense about their masks. Everyone wears their mask everywhere. People, they shame you in the hallways if you're not wearing your mask. So it's a very mask-centric area. Shout out to fucking Chicago, MJ. But yeah, from Chicago to by the time we got to like New York, the Manhattan area, I wanted to like turn around and drive down the Long Island Expressway in reverse. Like it felt like a mile from my house after everything we had done. But the final hour count was 13, 15, and 12. So what's that?
Wait, say that again?
13, 15, 40 hours. That's what we did it in.
That's pretty solid.
Wow.
Yeah, 40 hours drive time. Not bad at all. I did not get any chance to watch anything, but we did listen to a ton of podcasts. That's why we listened to. I almost, when I came on, we listened to 2 of Hear Me This Books on the ride. And so that's why at the beginning of this thing, I almost said, welcome back to Hear Me This Book with Steve Renatisi. But anyway, yeah, it was a fun ride. We laughed a lot. We didn't eat that much. We didn't fart that much. I'm trying to think of like the disappointing things that we did see a guy on a bicycle driving on the side of the highway. And then I swore 4 states later, I saw him again. It was the same guy. I almost pulled off to fucking find out. But yeah, no, it was an awesome trip. Everyone's home safe and sound. So we're going to be here for a while, but I didn't get a chance to watch on Sunday. I wanted to. I was like, oh, if I feel good on Sunday, I can't wait to watch The Last Dance in Chicago. I wonder what the vibe's going to be like. And then I went out to walk the dog, and I was like, oh, I forgot. We're in the middle of a fucking pandemic. And the vibe is going to be what it's like everywhere else. It doesn't matter I'm in Chicago watching The Last Dance. It's just going to be like – so I didn't watch it. I was like, all right, I waited till I got home.
You didn't go to the United Center or anything like that, did you?
No, but I'm like – I thought about on the way there. I'm like, oh, it's kind of cool that I'm going to be in Chicago to watch the last 2 episodes. Kind of almost – daydreaming and forgetting that it was like it's going to be like nothing else. Like I could watch it at home. No one's going to really make that much of a deal because there's nothing that could be made.
Watch the last 2 episodes, have some pizza, feel good.
Did you watch the last 2 episodes?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was look, I've been loving the whole thing, like we said, but I was waiting to get to Reggie Miller because I personally hate Reggie Miller. As a Knicks fan, I hate Reggie Miller. I truly, in the way that I hated the Bulls. The Bulls, they eliminated us 4 times in the fucking playoffs. 4 fucking times. But I loved Michael Jordan. I really, there was something different. As much as I respected Michael Jordan, I didn't like the team, I knew that he was the greatest ever. The Pacers, on the other hand, they just pissed me off, and I fucking hated Reggie Miller because Michael Jordan would slit your throat, but then he would just walk off the court. Reggie Miller would slit your throat, and then he went over and talked to Spike, and then he went over and did this. It was just he was an antagonist to the umpth degree for us. So I love the fact that Jordan hated him as much as I hated him. And
you don't like the choke sign?
No, because those were our best teams, man. Those were our the team the '99 Knicks that lost to the San Antonio Spurs was not our best version. That was like because Jordan was done and we got out of the East and it was like a shortened season and the Spurs were going to win. They were a better team. It was David Robinson's first year, I think.
Yeah.
And, the Admiral. So they had the fucking Duncan and Robinson. It was like
Twin Towers.
That was not our best. Those Pacers teams that we lost to, forget the Bull teams, but the Pacer teams we lost to, those fucking teams, those were our best teams, and Reggie Miller still killed us. And so I held that in me for a long, long time. And the fact that Jordan wanted to kill him as much as I did made me wet. And I also forgot that they had that fight in '93. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
He broke Jordan. He broke Jordan. Nobody else did it.
Yeah, got under his skin. I guess Steve Kerr did in some sort of like in practice, but yeah, he in the game I don't know what he said. Did they say what he said to him? They didn't talk about that specific fight.
No.
I just remember Reggie just being like, I got under his skin. We had a weird relationship. Everyone feared him, but I didn't fear him. I respected him, but I didn't fear him. And I did get that sense from Reggie Miller, where it was like, hey, I'm not going to let this guy do whatever he wants to me or speak to however he wants to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got to figure, too, he grew up being told constantly that his sister was better than him.
Yeah.
When he was –
and by the way, she probably was for a very, very long time. So if you get shit talked by, and this is no offense, but if you're going to be an NBA player, you get shit talked by a girl growing up your entire life. And then that woman happens to be your sister. And on top of that, she happens to be better than you, probably, and more respected overall. That's got to weigh on you. So you learn to deal with that. Fuck, dude. I mean, Jordan's going to be really a piece of cake. Probably.
It's a fun draft video when when the Pacers drafted Reggie Miller, the fans booed. They booed him, and he wasn't even a high lottery pick. He was like 11th overall. And they wanted Steve Alford, who was a Hoosier, who led him to a state title with Bobby Knight. They wanted Steve Halford, and they booed Reggie Miller. And it always ate at him.
Fuck. They're fans in Indianapolis. I went to a playoff game there probably 6 years ago. I was doing Flappers Comedy Club in Broad Ripple. I brought Danish and O'Neill. And Jimmy Schubert was doing the other Flappers downtown. and the Pacers were in town, and it was a playoff game, but I guess they were like one of the shittier George Hill playoff teams. I don't even think I'm not even sure if they had what's his name?
Not Artest or
the guy on
Jermaine.
No. Yeah, I think they had Jermaine, but I don't even know if they had what's his name yet. The guy that's on the Clippers now.
Oh, fucking yeah, Paul George.
Yeah.
Paul George. Yeah, I think it was. I think it was like just a shitty George Hill let him into the. So the fans weren't going crazy. We can get tickets. We went to the game, and I remember just like being in there, being like, "Oh fuck, dude!" Like the field house sort of fans are vicious. Like, you remember the blonde chick in episode 9?
Yeah.
Like, go fuck yourself. Fuck you. I'm like, that's like a.
I saw an interview with her yesterday. That was taken.
With that lady?
Yeah, that she took after this last episode aired, and her husband is a big car dealer out there, so they've had those seats for 30 years, and she talked about each relationship she had, which each were like. She said her and Rodman used to throw it back and forth all the time. She'd yell at him, like she would heckle each individual player in their own way.
You know, she masturbated to them at night. You know she did. She went home and she hurt herself because she loved them so much. And the only way that rage came out during the game, but at night she had a different feeling towards them. Yeah. I just want you trust me. I saw it in that lady's eyes.
Yeah, she looks good,
but it was different. She did look good. She looked like a car dealer's wife. Yeah. I mean, if you told me she was like Mattress Mac's wife, I'd be like, that makes sense. You know, like a mattress salesman, a car salesman, one of those people. Yeah, she was crazy. But then beyond that, you get to the flu game. And the flu game, which is now probably not going to even be the flu game anymore. It's going to be whatever Pizzagate. There's a new Pizzagate.
New Pizzagate.
Tell Tripoli there's a new Pizzagate.
That guy came out with an interview on CBS Sports the other day, too, denying everything. He said he's a Bulls fan.
I heard about that.
Bulls fan. He delivered it himself. It was only him and the driver. It wasn't 5 guys. And he just asked if he could say hi to Mike, and they opened the door for him. And he said, "Hey, Mike." And he said, "Thanks for the pizza." And that was it.
My question is, why would you ever tell anyone that it was for Michael Jordan? You understand what I'm saying? Like,
everybody knew where the Bulls were staying because they were there for a few days. They're ordering food, and everyone just knows it's a big city, but it's a small city.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what's going on.
No, I get that, but I'm saying, like, so I assume they knew it was for one of the Bulls, but
one of the Bulls,
like, probably, like, do you think that that's why they sent 2 people and poisoned the pizza, or do you think that, like, these guys? I mean, I can't see one of Jordan's entourage being dumb enough to be like, "Hey, Michael Jordan wants to order a fucking pizza on the road." So, I mean, I wonder if these guys were like, "Hey, we're gonna poison someone during the Bulls entourage, on the Bulls entourage," or do you think that they were like, "We knew that this was for Michael Jordan. That's the only reason we did it," or do you think they didn't do it at all?
I don't think they did it at all. Based on what the guy was saying, his side of the story was he goes to this place. It's late at night. Jordan's got his shirt off. The window's open. It's cold outside. He smokes cigars nonstop the entire night, eats an entire pizza himself. The guy made himself sick.
Really?
Or it was all fake and it's all a setup that Jordan did to get in his head to motivate himself. Like, "Oh, I'm sick. Tell everybody I'm sick. Go out there, drop 40 points, fake the whole thing." But he has that motivation of, now I got to play sick. Now I got to be better than everybody, and I'm sick. I mean, I've eaten that much of a sociopath that he would do that.
I've eaten a whole pizza late at night before, like on the road in a hotel, and I've struggled the next day. But I still get up and do the shows, but it's like you're a little bit behind, you're a little slower and stuff. So
you've had your flu set?
I mean, I've had what I thought were flu sets, but I knew in my heart what I had done. It was debauchery sets. It was gross. You drank too much and you ate a fucking pizza, a pepperoni pizza. By the way, they didn't say, like, was there anything on the pizza?
Yeah, it was
that's what surprised me most about it.
It was a large. Yeah. It was a large with extra pepperoni.
See, now, okay, extra pepperoni. Now all right, that adds more to me. You put a plain pizza, it's hard to just throw like some poison or some shit. But you could throw pepperoni on there. Then you go, "Hey, ready? You get half good pepperoni, and you know that fucking pepperoni that Phil found off the back of that truck? We still got that in the back of that fucking freezer, Jim? Yeah, cut that up. Throw that on there, all right? And you know what? We'll roll the dice. So maybe it goes to maybe the pepperoni that Jordan ate wasn't good. And
like Joe
how,
Exotic, Walmart expired.
Yes. Maybe he used some Walmart fucking pepperoni that fell off the back of a truck that even Joe's Tigers wouldn't eat, and they fed that to Jordan. And maybe they thought it was going to kill him, but instead he only just got the fucking, the flu symptoms or whatever.
It made him stronger.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know. I don't. It doesn't seem like if he played it off like he was sick and he needed that motivation, obviously it worked, but he cut it pretty close,
Also, the Last Dance director said this in a post interview that Jordan spit on the pizza so no one else in his entourage would eat it.
Really?
Yeah, that was his move.
What?
Yes.
So I
don't know if that contributed, but
he's faking it.
Again,
for sure.
Here's where I play devil's advocate. Those guys seem pretty responsive to Jordan's needs at all times. So I think if Jordan sat there and ordered 3 pizzas and then told the guys, don't touch any of them, they're all for me, none of them would do it. They'd all want to, and they'd all say later on, what a fucking dick Michael was. He didn't, but they would not touch it. I don't think he really needed to go to the extra step to actually physically spit on the pizza.
But that's why he's great, Steve. That's why he's great. He goes the extra step.
I wonder if he did that with women and stuff, or if he saw if he was just and he just saw when he just go and spit on her and be like, you guys know that's mine now, right? That's in case anybody, and I spit on 3 of them. So out of the 3 of them, none of them are for you.
He is truly the alpha of all alphas.
The spit. I mean, look. I don't think he was poisoned in the sense that they poured some shit on him to kill him, but I think that they probably served him rancid meat on top of that pizza and roll the dice, and they go, if he gets sick, if he doesn't, he doesn't, but we'll take a shot.
She agrees.
But yeah, you have to be suspicious that when you have multiple people showing up. You have to be. I'm sorry.
Now, the delivery guy said, though, there's only 2 people, and I believe his argument because they're working at a Pizza Hut at 12:30. He's like, we don't have 5 staff working right now. That was his other rebuttal to Jordan.
And by the way, one of those guys has got to either trainer or the best friend's got to go down there and meet the pizza guy in the fucking lobby. You don't get to come upstairs. You don't give the room number out.
It was the 90s, Steve. It was a different time.
I went on the road with Paulie one time, okay? And, Paulie, after the show, we were talking to some ladies. He invited them back to the hotel, right? Now, they go up to the room. They're in with Paulie, right? And all of a sudden, the next day, Paulie goes, we got to move. I go, why? He goes, they know where the hotel room is. They're coming back. They just keep coming back. They know where it is now. So I go, well, I don't have to move. I like my room. He's like, no, we're moving. We have to go. I'm like, no, you gave up your information. I'm not giving up my information. So I don't know why anybody would give up Michael Jordan's information. Why would you say he's in room, or this pizza's for room 345? You got to go downstairs and meet the guy in the fucking lobby. Okay. You give the guy cash, no looky-loos, and then you're gone. All right. We're on the road. This is a business trip. I couldn't believe that part. You got to send someone down to go get that fucking pizza. Right?
Yeah.
Jordan wants to be a man of the people. Give everybody a story.
But now people are saying that the pizza's not true. Horace Grant saying that he didn't give up the information, and that Jordan's a snitch for snitching on the first year guys when he got there and said they were doing, coke and weed and chicks and stuff. So, I believe he was sick. I don't think he was faking it. And if he was faking it, he was incredible, because it was probably one of the best performances I've ever seen.
There's no way he was faking it. I remember that game. He was visibly ill, but who knows what he was sick from.
Yeah, I don't think he was poisoned.
Jerry Sloan after, though, Jerry Sloan, those press conferences where he's just like, I didn't know he was sick. You really believe Jerry Sloan didn't know that he was sick? It's just like, he was just in shell shock from.
Yeah, he also didn't know what the final score was, so he was out of it that night.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy. Didn't they hold a team to like 55 points in a game?
48. Oh, yeah, 54.
Yeah, it's
It was
54.
like 90. Yeah.
96 to 54 or something.
54. Yeah. Like crazy.
That's insane.
That is insane. But the fact that Karl Malone wouldn't be interviewed, I mean, I don't know. He seems very gracious in the documentary, like getting on the bus after they lose the championships, and you know, it
Meet him in the
like,
hallway.
Yeah, meeting him in the hallway and stuff. So I don't know if there's any ill will, but I heard through that John Stockton was like the last guy that got interviewed, or the last guy that said yes to get interviewed, and then but Karl Malone, I guess, apparently said no, he wouldn't do it.
Could they get Jimmy Kimmel to do Karl Malone?
Well, but I wonder why. Like, I wonder if anyone's gone to Karl Malone now and been like, "Why didn't you want to do like?" You know, this is like
he has some demons in his closet. I don't know if it would have been cool if they did a whole little part about Karl Malone. You know, like they did with Miller and Isaiah, because him winning MVP. I remember that pissing Jordan off.
Yeah.
Had he not won MVP, maybe the Jazz would have won a title. Who knows?
But I would have loved to have seen Karl Malone be like, "Fuck yeah, I deserved MVP that year." You know, it's like, you know, that I was not. We were a great team. We just beat the 2-time defending champions. You know, in the playoffs, the West was good back then. I remember Portland being great. You know, the Jazz were fucking great. So
LA.
there was. I feel like the East was more physical, and there were tougher teams to go through physically. You were going to get beat up more physically and probably emotionally. But the West teams were good fucking basketball teams. They played fast-paced, good, you know, passing the ball, moving the ball, great basketball. So, you know, they weren't fucking easy. The Sonics were obviously great too. So, yeah, the fact that Karl Malone, I would have loved to have seen him just sat there and been like, yeah, like even if he was Reggie Miller, like, you know, like I wasn't afraid of him. I played with him on the dream team. You know, I knew this competitiveness. I knew what he was going for. So, but I would have liked to have seen that. I feel like, did you feel like Stockton gave Jordan like just enough respect? I feel like.
Oh yeah.
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 What a fascinating player. I mean, John Stockton was just like, I think all of his kids play basketball, but
Yeah,
like 6'1", nothing special, and he's still the all-time steal leader, right? And I think assist leader, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
And that was the best pass I've ever seen. That highlight.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
From his hip, it's like a football pass. Like that's a pass you'd see like Kyler Murray make to a tight end for a touchdown, and then John Stockton just threw that ball from his hip. Ridiculous. That's why I would have loved to have seen the two of them sit there and be like, you know, we're Hall of Famers too. We got beat by Jordan, and
they're in the same draft too. Stockton was like 14th or 15th, but both 85.
I did see the one quote from Malone saying that if he was to buy a ticket or they were selling tickets for that dream team practice in Monte Carlo, that the bidding he thinks would start at $10,000. That's for the kind of basketball that was being played that day. But I'm like, I would have liked to have seen him on the documentary. Are you sad it's over?
Yeah, but
yes and no. It's
probably it's over. Everything's over.
It's probably done so well that it's just going to open up 100 more things that they're going to do great documentaries on.
I want the Horace Grant documentary now.
Yeah,
I'll watch that.
That's going to be filmed with a GoPro, Steve. It's way lower budget.
To the point of if the Horace Grant documentary came out first, right? I probably wouldn't have been watching it as closely as I am watching this one, you know, and I would have been like, oh, this one is the one that's probably more, you know, logical. But I want to see the Horace Grant version of the story beyond what Jordan allowed him to say and had final cut in this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Didn't Horace have a twin brother? Horace Grant had a twin brother that also played in the NBA. I'm 100% sure. Let me verify this. And he looked just like him. And I want to say the only difference is that he didn't wear goggles.
I don't know. Horace Grant's brother.
Yeah. Yes, Harvey Grant.
Harvey Grant.
Harvey Grant. He played in the NBA.
Same time, obviously, right?
Yep. Harvey Grant was in the 88 draft, 12th overall, looked just like him, looks just fucking like him. Played for the Bullets. That's right. I remember mostly for the Bullets and the Blazers. He had a 10-year run.
Harvey Grant.
Yeah. He's on Jordan's shit list too.
What did he do?
I don't know. He's twins with Horace.
He trains with Horace and Byron Russell. Byron Russell too, another one. I mean, look, that story, like, again, that would have been great if you had Malone to corroborate that story of Jordan coming to visit him into practice and being like, you know, Byron Russell would be like, why'd you fuck? I could totally see that happening too. You know, like just a brash young kid being like, fuck, I was going to fucking guard you. And that, I mean, that's all it took. When they cut to him, it was like, he's on my shit list now. I'm like, that's terrible. That's the worst. Like, poor Byron Russell probably went home that night and was like, dude, I met Jordan today. I met my fucking hero. Can you believe that? I know I did. I met him. And you know what I said to him? I go, I can't, I would have guarded you. I would have told him I would have guarded him. He fucking loved it. He loved it. It was great to go. You could tell I respected him, and I wasn't backing down from him. Little did he know that Jordan would then take that one little piece and use it to embarrass him. I mean, his last shot ever in the NBA that we all thought was ever going to be before he went to the Wizards. Byron Russell will always be forever falling out, mispositioned. You know, it's like captured forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the dude's holding up the Iwo Jima flag and stuff. It's crazy. So I mean, when you hear how much motivation he used from the smallest things, it was remarkable. It really was. I sat down with Jonah, and I go, hey, watch this story, and we watched the flu game situation. I started from, like, we ordered a pizza, and then he goes he watches it. He goes, I can't believe that. I go, really? He goes, that's crazy that happened. I go, why? What do you mean? What's the craziest part? He goes, he ate a whole pizza by himself. I go, yeah, buddy. He ate a whole pizza. He goes, first of all, he's allowed to eat a whole pizza? I go, yes, he's allowed. He was an adult. He was allowed to eat a whole pizza. He paid for the pizza himself. I go, but you understand that the point is that he overcame the food poisoning to lead his team to victory. Like, that's the point. He's like, yeah, but why wouldn't he share the pizza with his friend? I go, maybe no one else was hungry, buddy. Maybe no one else was hungry. That's what he took away from the whole thing. So I love it. I'm sad it's gone. Now I don't know what else to watch.
Do you think they should have included the Wizard years?
No.
I thought they would do like documentaries do like Phil Jackson, picture of him, went on to coach the Lakers and win 5 more. I thought that they might do, like, you know, even though, because I'm saying to myself, how much of this are they trying to open up to pop culture? Like, we all know what these guys went on and did, most of them, you know, but I mean, I don't know if you're trying to lay out to everyone else in the world that didn't know, but they just ended it. So I would have liked to have seen him been like, you know, Horace Grant, had a brother named Harvey Grant, who also fucking played the NBA, whatever the hell it was. So, but yeah, I thought they maybe should have alluded to the Wizard years. But, you know, I think Jordan, he had final say. So it's like, he probably was like, what are we going to add an episode? You know?
Tiger King style?
We're not, you know, it's 10 parts. We end with the championship, and that's that. It's like, it ends when it ends with all of us leaving together, not when, you know. And I do like the fact that he said that I would have come back had we been able to get Phil and, you know, maybe Scotty, but I would have been able to talk him into it. I like that. That's sort of like teaser, but, you know, to get into the Wizard years of, that's when, you know, he knew. What would he say? He probably doesn't want to sit there and go, I should not have come back. I should have left it the way it was. In hindsight, my competitiveness got away from me. And, you know, maybe I kind of, you know, knocked some of the luster off of who people thought I was.
Steve, they should have interviewed Kwame Brown.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Then you get those guys in there. If you can't get the mailman, you didn't get Kwame Brown over there. Brian Windhorst had a good point. that he thinks that the deciding factor for Jordan to do this documentary was when LeBron won his last championship, and sort of people then started talking, well, who might be the best ever? I think, Brian Windhorst was saying that he thinks that the competitiveness of Jordan, even now, just because that question could be asked, that's why he was like, let's make this documentary, and agreed to it.
Well, and Kobe knew that Jordan did that, and he had a camera crew with him his last season.
Did he really?
Yeah, Kobe has his whole last season on footage.
So we're going to get that too.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I guess we just have to wait for LeBron to start walking around with a film crew at all times, and then we'll know.
He's had a film crew since high school.
I guess, yeah. I mean, nowadays you never know you could probably film a documentary from people that are just following him around at all times. They could have their own fucking footage.
Yeah.
I love the golf stuff. I love him just talking shit about golf, smoking cigars, still playing golf. I think that's where he gets his competitiveness out now. But do you see, what's strange to me is, why is he not competitive with the Hornets? Why is him now owning the Hornets and winning a championship on that level as an owner or an executive? Why is that not his driving force now? And because, look, I don't know what LeBron's plans are, but I can completely see LeBron moving on and becoming executive and being more of a hands-on person than I feel like Jordan is. I feel like Jordan owns a team the way a guy that made a lot of money and maybe a car dealership owns a team, where he's like, I own the team, but I'm sort of not that involved. I just wonder why that competitiveness doesn't flow into that.
I think he just wants players on his team that he can still beat.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating question. You look at pretty much all of his GM moves and owner moves, and they're not the best. He should be. That's why him and Barkley don't talk anymore too.
Well, yeah. Was it Barkley criticized him as a GM and an owner, and was like, and so that for him. I guess I wonder how he, what I would have loved to have seen more, how I understand the nature and the mentality, but during the developmental process, how did he take constructive criticism? How did he, because it almost when he got there, he was coachable. And Dean Smith said when he got there, he wasn't a great player, but he worked harder. And I assume that meant he listened and he did what we wanted him to do. But at what point did he become more of, I'm the leader, you're the follower, we're going to go in my way? And how did coaches bring constructive criticism to him? Because, like you said, every time he made a decision, he wasn't always right. It may have worked out, but he wasn't always right. So in hindsight, how do you look at something like a Charles Barkley saying, hey, you're not a great GM, or you're not a great owner? How do you take something like that? And you can not talk to Barkley, but then become better at it and use it as a driving force like he did with everything else. So, but who knows? It's not over for him, even though I am worried that why his eyes are really, really yellow.
Yeah.
Really yellow.
They almost look fake.
Yeah. So that does not, I don't know. That doesn't sit well with me.
That kind of competitiveness, that wears on you. I'm sure in his old age, as he gets older, he really is not going to, he could really, I could see him putting on 300 pounds, just not giving a fuck. When you're that driven for that long, you're exhausted.
Yeah. Yeah, you're tired, dude. That's why, the break to play baseball was almost needed. It was like he had to recharge the batteries to go out and fucking do it again. He needed it.
Did you know that Jerry Krause, he was also a scout with the Mets?
Yeah. Jerry Krause was the White Sox GM, or he was working in the White Sox organization before they brought him over to the Bulls. He was a baseball guy.
Yeah.
Growing up, just a total baseball guy. Speaking of competition and golf, by the way, did you watch the Rory McIlroy, Dustin Johnson thing this past weekend versus Ricky Fowler, Matthew Wolff? No.
Didn't know that was a thing.
Competitive golf. I think it was on NBC. I was driving. I didn't watch it, but it was the first competitive sort of golf live golf thing. I think Rory McIlroy and Dustin Johnson won. It was a skins game, so everything went to charity.
Okay.
And so, and it went off pretty well, I thought. I heard no one got sick or anything like that. And then this weekend, the reason I bring it up is because I would hope that Jordan would want to play in one of these things. This weekend, it's Tiger Woods and Peyton Manning versus Phil Mickelson and Tom Brady in a charity match. I think that's in Medalist in Palm Beach, Florida, which, by the way, is a golf course that I played with Court McCowan. Court's good buddy is Jesper Parnevik, who lives down there, and he has a former golfer, and he's a member at Medalist, and we played with him. And we were betting, and I shot like a 955, and I almost threw a club one time, but I realized I was where I was, and I was in like a really fancy place, so I had to tone it down. But it is a very difficult golf course. All these guys live down there, and this is the one they all play with. Like, this is their home course that they like the member guest there is like Tiger Woods and Barack Obama. Like, that's how they roll at this place. So these guys all know this course really well. It should be fun to watch. Tom Brady, look at this guy out throwing passes with his teammates Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then head up to Palm Beach to fucking prepare to go play Tiger Woods and Peyton Manning in a golf tournament. I mean, is this guy fucking the best or what? Is he the new Michael Jordan or what? Are you buying this or you're not buying this? You're not buying him, Brenton. I see reluctancy in your face.
Unfortunately, I think he is probably the Michael Jordan of football. Just based on little snippets of interviews from teammates going, it's not even fun playing with this guy. He's such an asshole when we do anything wrong.
Willing the team to win.
And he's won 6 championships. He's going to suck in Tampa Bay, though.
He's going to suck in Tampa Bay.
He is done.
So you're saying that the Michael Jordan of football that you just said, you said that.
He is now with the Washington Wizards for the final 2 years of his career.
You really believe that? I'm looking at this guy and I'm saying to myself, this is what – now, I'm sure other young quarterbacks are out there doing this, trying to get together with their teammates, but this guy is going out of his way, getting caught by police to make sure that he is on the same page before they get there day one. So that when day one they go, now they're just a football team trying to learn how to become better. He's getting all that, like, what is your normal route pattern? What is your speed like out of the way right now in a fucking public park? In a public park. Or I think they're doing it in a high school now because they got busted at the public park. So, but they're getting, like, he's going out of his way to make sure they are on the same page with him. Those are the right steps, Brenton. Do you not agree?
They're the right steps, I agree, but he can't throw the deep ball anymore. So if they're going to win, he can't, though. His arm strength is gone. So if they're going to win, it's going to be him just throwing 5, 6, 7-yard passes.
I think the next 2 years for Tom Brady are going to be one big sales pitch for whatever product line he's going off of after this.
He's selling immunity pills right now.
Immunity pills from the
He's
disease?
He's selling immunity pills. Yeah. $45 a bottle.
Well, I got to get them. No, he's not. Is he really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at his post yesterday.
It's definitely just a bottle of vitamin C.
Let's find it.
Yeah.
Didn't they just bust that preacher for doing the exact same thing? Saying that, like, this could cure coronavirus?
Yeah.
Oh my God! How is this not front page news that Tom Brady's telling you can't get coronavirus pills?
And in the photo they used of him, he looked fucking crazy.
Yeah, he looks insane.
All right, Steve, I'm going to share my screen real quick.
Yeah, do it.
Let's see if I can figure out how to do it again.
Click in the bottom.
Yeah. I went to video settings.
Nope, it just says share screen at the bottom of the screen. In the middle.
Okay, I got you. There we go. All right. There we go.
You probably had to get all the porn out of the way first. All right.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
That's the photo he decided was
high.
Let's go with this one. Let's go with this photo.
Okay. Wait a second. And he says in this ad that this will protect you from the coronavirus?
No, he doesn't say it explicitly, but
Not
it does
Corona.
say yes. But in the shipping, it says right below, where you click add to cart, it says due to COVID-19, shipments could take 2 to 3 weeks longer. Which you see how it's placed on the sales page. It almost is like a sales pitch for the shit. You know what I mean?
Oh
It
my God.
explicitly says COVID-19 in all caps. Yeah.
Huh. Well, this is awkward because it's time for our first new sponsorship. It's Tom Brady's Protect, everyone. Take Tom Brady's Protect pills and you can prevent coronavirus. He says that it's 100% guarantee you will not get coronavirus.
It's just hydrochloroquine.
It's hydrochloroquine. They're cut in half, though. So they're half dosage. You can give them to your kids. Use 10% off. Use the code. Go fuck yourself for 10% off your first purchase of Tom Brady's Protect pills. That's our first sponsorship. I can't believe this guy's out there doing this. I don't understand how people aren't like going crazy about this. They went nuts about what's his name, the preacher. I can't remember that fucking guy's name. But when he was selling that like liquid stuff, the silver,
the goo, stuff. Yeah. That's why Tom's in Florida now.
Now you're Mike Evans, right? You show up to your practice, right? You're there, you're like stretching with Tom, and Tom comes over. He's like, "Have you had your Protect yet?" And you're like, "What do you do?" You're not okay. Ready? I'm Tom Brady, Brenton. You're Mike Evans. Ready? Hey, Mike, come on over. I wanted to show you something. Did you try these? These are Protect pills. They will prevent the coronavirus. You should take them. Here, eat one.
The fuck are you talking about? No, I'm not going to eat that. What are you talking about?
I'm Tom Brady.
Are you a doctor?
I'm number 12.
Does that make you a doctor?
Have you heard of Tampa Brady?
All right, I'll take it, but you're not charging me this time.
Okay, fine. See? You're going to take the pills if you're Mike Evans. You're going to be bullied into taking these fucking shit pills that are probably going to get someone else. Wouldn't it be great if these vitamins got him banned or they had some sort of substance that you can't take? And its own Protect pills protected him from his own career, and he had to go sit down with Giselle and maybe go fucking. I mean, think about it. If Tom Brady got suspended for 6 games and he's like, "I'm going to go commentate for 6 games," they'd let him, right? Is that legal?
Oh yeah. Oh, he can do whatever he wants.
Greg Olson commentated on a bye week last year. I don't know why he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I can't believe that he's doing that. But I guess go out and get them. Get those Protect pills. If anyone's going to protect us, it's Tom Brady. God knows it's not fucking Trump. So, but maybe they're listening to the same guy. Trump's taking hydroxychloroquine or hydroxychloroquine, whatever that shit is. And Tom Brady takes his Protect pills.
Trump needs to take hydroxycut.
I figured out why he doesn't wear a mask.
Yeah, why? He's the fat president.
Because he wears makeup.
Oh.
You know, when you wear a mask, right here, when you wear a mask, it's like, and trust me, he's not going to wear
the makeup off.
Yeah, on the white part. So, and he's not going to wear like a dark mask. He's not going to wear like a New York Yankees mask or something like that. He's just going to he's going to wear a white doctor's mask, and you will see when he moves it, because he will touch his face, that the makeup, well then, you'll see it on the white part. And he doesn't want people knowing he wears makeup, even though how the fuck do we think he exists without wearing makeup? He's too vain. So that's honestly why I believe, because once he wears it once, he's going to then have to wear it all the time, and then he can never wear makeup again.
So his orange skin is fake? I'm offended.
I mean, it may very well be. May very, very well be. By the way, I went through Iowa, and I thought about you the entire time.
Yeah, where'd you go?
We went right past right through 70 goes through Iowa, right? We went through 70, right through Iowa.
Yeah.
Or 80, whatever it was.
70
or 80, one of those roads. We went through the Davenport, Des Moines, all those states, right through them all. Which one's the one where the state fair is?
Des Moines.
Right? Des Moines. Yeah, we passed the state fairgrounds.
Davenport has the world's biggest truck stop, Steve. The world's biggest. Like, it really is. It's in a town called Walcott. And it brings
I know. I pulled over. I blew all of them. I broke the world record. It was the world's largest truck stop blowjob train rally.
With your outdoor sweatshirt on, I hope.
My outdoor sweatshirt. We have to keep it outdoors. I take my mask off. I blow. I put it back on.
They're probably impressed with your teeth.
They were very impressed with all my teeth. They were like, "What do you don't take those out?" I go, "Boys, let me tell you, I know how to hide these puppies. You won't feel a thing." Yeah, no, it was beautiful, beautiful drive. The only time I got rain was Chicago, and then as we came into New York. But Iowa was really, really lovely. And then I thought about you, Brent, because I saw the Lake Erie, and I go, if I make a fucking left right now, I head up to Buffalo, and we can go interview some of your felons that you guys have created up there on your football team this week.
Hey,
not a great week for
Hey,
the
you
Buffalo
started
Bills.
first.
Yeah, we're equal.
Oh, DeAndre Baker.
Yeah,
Man.
and his buddy.
Innocent, ladies and gentlemen. He pled not guilty today, and therefore I'm on board with DeAndre Baker. He's an innocent man, innocent until proven guilty, or innocent until proven he can no longer cover the man one-on-one, because I don't think he can. He led the league in like pretty much the worst stats last year. He wasn't a great first-round pick, so I'm not 100% on board with his alibi. But if we start to see that we don't have any other options, then we need him back. And that's that. What happened to your guy this week? My guy did an armed robbery.
DWI, and he had a gun that – did they find out if it was registered or not?
That's what I was going to ask you. Let's check.
So he may have had an unregistered firearm, and he got caught driving under the influence in Houston.
Weapon.
Really?
So, yeah.
Who's driving under the influence? I guess who's driving under the influence now? Where are you getting bombed, and where are you going? I mean, there's nowhere to get bombed. There's no bars where you're getting hammered at, and then like, are people drinking at home and then going on joyrides, and that's how they're getting popped?
He must
I
have
don't
been.
get it.
Yeah, the weapon was illegal.
So the weapons in the – oh, my God, the weapons in the car.
Yeah.
And is that was it unregistered?
Well, that I don't know. It just says an illegal weapon. So it could be registered, and he was driving in a county that it's illegal to have a weapon in, but he was in Texas, so I kind of doubt that. But I'm just looking at this video here, and he's barefoot. He doesn't look good.
Barefoot?
Yeah, I mean, that's at least 4 games.
Yeah, best case scenario, he misses 4 games. Worst case scenario, he's cut from the team, ends up in like Pittsburgh or New England, and becomes a Hall of Famer.
He won't get cut. Marcel Darius, other Bills tackle, he got caught like illegal drag race, and he got 4 games. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think 4 games.
4 games? I'm thinking, I mean, as long as he says he's sorry and he's not he's barefoot. So honestly, I can't imagine his excuse being anything more than I'm sorry. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like he's like I was coming, my wife and I were, whatever. It's like, no, you're barefoot, dude. You obviously are hammered. What are you doing out? So apologize, and maybe 4 games will be it. What's the normal thing? 4 games for DUI?
I always assume 4.
First one?
Yeah, 4
for anything, for first offense.
If it was a second one, we'd probably be talking 6 or 7.
Yeah.
We're talking half the season, yeah.
Yeah.
But I wonder if DeAndre Baker, because it's an armed, that could be 6 games. I almost want to bet.
Yeah, armed robbery, that's going to be way worse.
Yeah.
Way worse. If he actually did, and who's the other guy he was with?
Quentin
Other
Coples,
football player.
is that right?
Yeah.
Let me double check before I throw names out there.
But here's the deal: the Giants knew there were teams that passed on DeAndre Baker because of his attitude. So this is a gamble that they took, and so this is what you get: sort of shoddy production, and then a fucking armed robbery in the off season. Football, I guess. Teams are allowed to open up their facilities now. There's like a number cap that they have at each place, but I don't think that. Do you think that preparation is happening on a normal basis, or is it just sort of like we're doing the best we can, and that football's kind of secondary right now?
I think so.
Probably we're doing the best we can.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw. Yeah.
Well, I think it's going to be an interesting season if it does get played, because I think the championship is probably going to be won right now based on how many of these players are actually focused on that goal and how many of them are fucking off and trying to rob a place or driving around with, a gun and barefoot, wasted. Like, that's going to affect a lot of teams.
Yeah.
There are probably guys just sitting on their asses right now, and they have coaches probably checking in every day and they go, yeah, I'm looking at this, I'm doing that, but they're not doing it. So that you might end up with somebody that nobody thought would win. Like I was listening to a breakdown of the Lions this year. The Lions might actually be a great team.
Why? Because they kept a lot of that. What? Yeah.
They could be sneakily good.
Really, with the pencil ear guy?
Yeah. For what reason? Based on what? Based on the fact that they haven't had much turnover and they're the kind of the same team and they don't need as long to get on the same page.
Yeah, and if they're all focused and they're all working, what's stopping them from being good? They have a good quarterback who's going to be healthy. He was on pace for 5,000 yards last year before he got hurt. He stays healthy.
I've always believed in Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, he's got Galladay. He's got Marvin Jones. T.J. Hawkinson's got another year under his belt, so he hopefully will step up. And then they drafted what's his face, Swift, right?
Cornerback, 3rd overall, Ohio State.
So their defense is going to get better.
It has to.
So they could be sneakily good.
Do you think that? Oh, by the way, I passed the new Vegas stadium. Holy shit, dude! It looks like amazing? It looks insane. It looks insane. It looks like as you're driving, because we were going north, so it was on the south side of the street. If you're coming south, like from Vegas to LA, it looks like you could put your hand out and touch it. That's how close it feels to the highway. And so you get a good look at it. We were also going through it at night, so it's black, but it's so black it stands out in the night. Like against the black sky of the Vegas desert night, it stands out. It's almost like matte black, where it's like it's extra. It's fucking crazy. It's got weird shapes and stuff. It looks like a terror dome. But again, no one's going to be inside of it for probably a very long time, I think.
Well, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I said this last week, but I was looking at Bills tickets, and you can buy them, but they're very expensive. And I don't know how it's going to work. If California obviously won't have games, Vegas will. But the NFL seems to build, like, if you notice that the Chargers and Raiders, every time the Chargers are at home, the Raiders are on the road. So the Chargers can use that stadium.
Yep. Well, LA said, I thought they said that California said they were going to allow sports starting up June 1st or whatever it was.
Right.
But I don't know if that includes, team facilities are able to open and all that stuff. But prediction time. Do you think that football do you think that baseball will happen this year? Do you think the players will accept that deal?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
I'm starting to doubt it. I was really positive last week, but now I'm starting to doubt it more and more. I think that they're going to err on the side of caution and say health reasons, but I don't. The guys I'm seeing coming out, like Snell came out, and everyone was like, "What the fuck, this guy?" Because he was like, his attitude was, "I got to get mine." But Mike Trout was like, "I don't know how logistically this thing plays out with quarantining and families and this and that, so I'm not sure." So the more I hear hesitation from bigger names, the more I'm like, fuck, I don't think this is going to work out. And they will probably be looked at as the bad guys, but I don't think, unfortunately, the way my gut tells me now, I don't think they're playing. What about you, Lucas?
Yeah, when I heard what Snell said, my immediate reaction, anytime you say I got to get mine, you just don't sound good. Mm-hmm. But then you hear like Bryce Harper say, I agree with him.
Yeah. And Mike Trout say, like, my wife wants to give birth, and now I got to go and quarantine for 2 weeks and then quarantine when I come back. It's, logistically, I don't know how that stuff works. So, he might be like, go ahead and play, but I don't want to play. You might have a thing where it's like certain players just don't, like, you're going to force them to play if they don't want to play,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, yeah. Well, this is a dumb question, but are they going to be wearing masks? Because I'm looking at this NFL helmet with the N95 mask. Have you seen it?
They're not going to be wearing masks, but they're not allowed to spit. No seeds, no spitting, no tobacco like that.
I don't even know if you're allowed to hold a man on at first base. I think that might be actually something you're not allowed to do anymore. I could be wrong, But I think alongside from like changing the DH rule, I think they're enforcing like you're not allowed like that close of a contact, not even that close. They want to try to avoid that stuff. So, yeah, they're taking precautions and stuff. But I mean, they have to decide pretty soon. And what the feeling I had last week, if I was 75% optimistic last week, I'm about 25% optimistic this week based on the way the week's gone. Hopefully it gets better. What do you think about who wins this Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson thing this weekend?
Tigers
Brenton,
with
go
Peyton?
ahead.
Tigers with Peyton?
Tigers with Peyton. Yep. And it's Phil and Tom.
Fuck. Phil and Tom are going to have the immunity pills. I got to go Phil and Tom.
Great. I'm taking Tiger Peyton.
I'm taking Tiger Peyton too.
Great. We're going to win, Lucas, and I'll tell you why. Number one, like I said, it's Tiger's home course. Phil lives in Arizona. Okay. Number two, Tom's been playing football. And, you know, he's good shape, obviously. You're not going to worry about that. But Peyton Manning's been playing golf. So he'll get a couple extra strokes out of that. And Tiger Woods doesn't want to lose to Phil Mickelson in these matches twice. Tiger Woods over Phil Mickelson. Peyton Manning over Tom Brady for the win.
And also,
that's my prediction.
Belichick won't be there, so.
And Belichick, if he is there, oh no, he won't be there. But I was going to say, I want to see what he would wear. Remember what he wore to Gronk's Super Bowl party?
Yeah.
I would love to see what he would wear to a match in Florida, a golf match in Florida.
Just a full tux.
That's right, the full tux. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the podcast for the week. Thank you all very much for listening, watching. Please rate and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell your friends about our Patreon page. Oh, speaking of that, it's been a couple weeks since we've done this. I want to shout out our Patreon members. They are fucking very special to us. They fund this podcast. Oh, there it is. They fund this podcast so we don't have to do ads for shit pills like Protect from Tom Brady. So here are our patrons. Where are you? I got to get them. Post, patrons, feed.
Sloppy
Pod. Total patrons, new patrons, deleted patrons, recent activity. Motherfucker. Dylan Irish. I know you're a patron. Fuck. Oh, Andrew Smith, Dylan Barnes, Corey Creasy, Matthew Linneo, Tim Riggle, Brad Johnson, Rafael Cabrera, Drew Rogers. Thank you all very, very much. There's more of you, but I can't find them right now. You guys are the best. You keep us supported every week. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's the podcast for this week. We'll be back again next week with another episode of What's the Odds with Steve Renazizi. Later, bitches.